Have your way in the midst of this house, Abba Yahweh. And you deep realm your word, go forth to your nation, Abba Yahweh. Let us sheep my hair, Abba Yahweh, to receive, Abba Yahweh, the admit the truth of your Torah this day, Abba Yahweh. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Torah, YHWH HaMashiach. And the precious dome that we shattered for YisraYah'ale. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Torah. Let us stand to our feet, nation.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Blow the trumpet in the mouth of Yahweh and YHWH HaMashiach. Hallelujah. Kadosh is your Hashem. Your Malkut to come. Your will be done. In earth, Abba Yahweh. And in the Hashemayim. Give us this day our daily lesson. And forgive our debt, Abba Yahweh. And we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil, Abba Yahweh. For yours is the Malkut, the power, and the honor, Abba Yahweh. Forever, Abba Yahweh. So be it, Abba Yahweh. May it be fulfilled in the precious mighty name of YHWH HaMashiach. Your Malak speak the lesson, the bread of life, to your nation this day, Abba Yahweh. Ban up every spirit that try to come against us, Abba Yahweh. In the precious mighty name of YHWH HaMashiach, I pray. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Hallelujah, Yahweh. For there is none like you, Yahweh, in all the old land. For you have created all things. You have breathed into YisraYah'ale the breath of life of this precious young. So we give back unto you, Abba Yahweh, and the praises of our lips, the clapping of our hands, and the dancing of our feet was only by you, Abba Yahweh. Do we have YHWH HaMashiach? So let everything that has breath praise Yahweh. Come on, YisraYah, let everything that has breath praise Yahweh. Let everything that has breath praise Yahweh. Let So let us have emunah and endure for Yahweh in Yahshua. Oh, don't you know there's none like Yahweh? Don't you know there's none like Him? Oh, yes, I know there's none like Yahweh. Yes, I know. Come on, YisraYah'ale, don't you know? There's none like Yahweh, YisraYah'ale. Hallelujah. Give all unto His feet. But there's a way that we must walk. We ask Yahweh in this precious Yah to show us the way, Yahweh. Come on, YisraYah'ale, let us sing. Show us. Show us your way, Yahweh.
put it up him for all things. This great time of festivity, the SHABBAT, and he has covenants with one nation. The only one nation, the nation of his elect. Not that we had specific qualities and certain things that we could offer, because we can offer him nothing. He is the one that offers to us of all redemption, Mother down the blood of YisraYah'ale. One of the most important things he does with us, he constantly reminds us. Reminds us how far we've fallen. He has not dealt with other nations like he has dealt with us. Yahweh destroyed the Ammonites, the sons of Esau, the Moabites, the Chaldeans. They were not as wicked as we were. And he would do that to plead with a rebellious nation. That's hard-headed. Defied him. And he would allow kingdoms to rise up and take mandate, authority over his nation, to remind them of the excellence of his power, his strength, his judicial process. He will allow no one to defy that. Not you, not me, no one. Give us warning to say, correct yourself. How? Well, we do it by the Musa, the counseling, the instructions of Almighty Yahweh. And he reminds us of our dubious, violent, evil, sadistic ways. Above all things, I want to do right. I want to live right. I don't want to be, and I will not be a hypocrite with pretense, but I'm real. You see me, you see one that is real. And everything that he does. Everything. I'm not a fake. I'm not phony. But I'm real. All the time. Every day. Every hour. Every minute. When I find myself moving out of that judgment of Yahweh, then I will be just as false as anyone else. So will you. Hallelujah. I want to continue the teaching from last Shabbat. I did not do that teaching justice. And so I'm going to reiterate certain aspects, but I want to show us something that is profound. The word profound, the esoteric of it, it is beyond our ability to conceptualize and to understand by just the process of our thinking. I will show us an example. You look at the sun. You can tell me the gases that it is made up of, or the moon. You breathe the air, you cannot express that. You know, it's hydrogen and oxygen. You can understand the periodical chart as to what are the elements that make up water and hydrogen. But we cannot fathom, it's beyond our ability to leverage. In essence, we think we are smart and we know it, and we leverage that against our own ignorance. And it produces nothing at all. He always answers from the Shemayim, from the heavens. I want to take us down this road somewhat today, because from the year August 20th, 1619 to August 2019, that's 400 years, not an approximation. I don't care if your jurisprudence is by lunar recognition or by solar. It makes no difference at all. 400 years have declared. It has passed. It is one thing that I know, that Yah can never break a promise, because by his immutability he cannot lie. So have we, on our own tangent, interpreted things to our liking. We're guilty of that, because we're all guilty of saying, I don't see why. You never said that. I don't see a reason for that. I don't see why I cannot do that or say that. So we give ourselves the proximity or the proximity of Yah, that we become the gods of our own direction. There was nothing more defiling among Yah as idolatry, the idolatrous people. And I want to make emphasis or emphasize this important factor before I begin reading. We think that idolatry, this evil, that we have these components of images before us. That is far from the truth, although that is a concept of it, or a part of it. But any time a man, a person, in their conscience defy the commands, the instructions of Yah, they have made themselves superior to him. You have become an idol unto yourself. I do what I want to. Nobody's going to tell me. I can think for myself. Well, I cannot. Hallelujah. Because all the thinking for myself, it has proven to be vile and fraudulent. Hallelujah. You want to do some of the things that you allow your mind to intersect. Across your mind. Don't sit here, we all have thoughts of evil, dogmas, so don't give me that. So that, Iman. So don't give me that self-righteous look. That's what Yah despises about us. I want to give us first the indication as 400 years he brought them from among Mizraim, the Egyptians. He broke the backs of the most powerful warriors of that time. The kingdom of death, that he suffered his people to be in bondage, to be in captivity. And this is how Yah has always tried to correct us. He would destroy the other nations when they would rise up against us, or even did those things that were evil, vile. And we as a nation, we have been more vile than those nations. He would kill them. He would raid their homes and kill their sons and their daughters. What he would do with this rebellious house, he would drive us into captivity. He would raise up a nation and bring us into bondage. That's what he has always done. To say, boy, I'm going to lock you down. Just obey me. We have always risen from those occasions to be as wicked as we were before. And that's a fact. I want to read this in Shemot, in Exodus. Nation under captivity of Mitzrayim. Yet there was only a way they could be free from that bondage. And the only thing, and the only statement Yah heard was this statement. It is not present in this time. We have learned to do as evil as the most vilest of nations. We have incorporated the evil lies as though that it is true. I will not. If I have to walk all by myself, I will. I will. That's a fact. That's a fact. This is what the Nabi or the messenger Yah plundered in the heart of Moshe. Exodus 2, just one verse. Chapter 2 and verse 23. He illustrates unto us, Yah, in the process, or it entered in, it came to pass. He talks about a sequence of time, or Rabah, or Rab. It came to pass in the process of many days and hours, an abundance of years of time, that the king of Mitzrayim, he died. And the sons, listen, you see, we have not raised the sons. You want to raise them to be effeminate, weak, and the sons to be the children. And the sons of YisraYah'ale, they began to knock. They began to sigh. They began to groan in the agony of great pain, oppression, suppression, depression, to agonize. Where are the sons groaning today? Where is there a sighing? When one takes and draws from the depths of one's being and take a deep breath, as one would say. You see the sons of the children of YisraYah'ale. You got Jonahs on every corner, playing their little fiddles in the game. But where is that kind of intercession? They began to sigh. For what? By the men. The reason, the account, the purpose. Why are we here? That we've lost such contact with Yah, that the story has not been told by the generation before me and the generation before them. And there were those in the house, they began to sigh. Yeah. And all of them, they began to weep. They began to cry. They began to mourn. There are no sons of YisraYah'ale crying and sighing. We can lie to appease ourselves, justify our wicked, evil, sadistic days, but we will lie at the drop of the hat. They began to sigh. Yearning and crying with such deep devotion unto Yah. Why is this so? We don't ask the questions. Because of the account of what? Their Abodah. They were in deep Abodah. They were in deep bondage. They were in the captivity not of their physical being, but their minds had become separate from Almighty Yah. Their thoughts were not filtered by Torah. And that's how we do things, nation. We must be honest with ourselves. And so they were not just in the physical captivity, but they had not the mind of Torah. They had no reasoning of truth in them. Yet there was a remnant that began to sigh, cry, and weep, and bellow. That this one that's called Father about Avram, and through the lineage of Yaakov, that seed, we have come forth. Yes. You have always been with us because of the promise. Yeah. Always. Because of the bondage. And it says this, and their Sheva, their crying, their dedication, their emotions, and their Sheva, there was such a cry that It was word of hallowing. It reached down to the depths of their bellies. They cried. They sobbed. We don't even do that today, do we? Let's get real. The lie is, that's why it's so easy for us to go back and do what we have done. Because there is not a thorough repentance. And they began to shabbat, they began to cry, and hollow, and weep. The sons. These that call them sons today, there's not even an example or a pattern of that. Knowing that they have come to 400 years, these are liars. They are the deceivers of the ignorant. And those that have no kind of maturation or maturity in the light of Yah's truth. It's based upon emotions. That's why we think that we are someone, but we are nothing.
True. Hallelujah.
You being a Hebrew Israelite mean nothing. He burned them up in the seduction of their own flesh. But he said to the old heads, not one of you all will walk in the renewed promise. And Yahshua, he killed them all. He let them all die. And those that were young, they were more foolish than their parents. I've always said this to parents and those that lived here. You turn away, your children will be worse than you. And all of them are worse than their parenting. Whores and dogs and bulldaggers and homos, don't get close to me. I'm not going to touch you, dog. You can't. I will not. Don't even play with me. And believe me, I can give you a look. You will turn away. There's no doubt about that. Don't play with me. Hallelujah. He said, and their cry came up to Yah by the reason. They cried in that way because of their Shabbat. They were in bondage. They were bound to the shackles of sin. Their knowledge had been destroyed of the way of Yah. Their fruitfulness in the midst of all of Goshen, the best land. We're not in the ghettos. The best land. In all of their captivity, he always put them by one thing, for purpose, a flowing flow of water. I'll prove all things. And that's a fact. That's a fact. And so the cry, I have not heard a cry. I have not heard those that identify as Hebrew Israelites. They use some of the most vilest of language toward each other and call them one of the most apprehensible epithet you can call a person. It's vile, it's evil, because they're evil. Because they are evil. They will say anything that is violent against each other. Now, I tell us about evil sins and our corruption and our vile ways. I will tell the daughters to get things right in the heart, not with some phony, fictitious outward appearance. It must be done in the root of the system. It must be done here in the labor, and that must be changed, renewed, and it must be rectified. That is the process. The only way that comes about, you must Shemach. Let's see what the Torah says. And that's a fact. So, they were in bondage. As the whole of America that are Hebrew Israelites, those that are in Europe and certain places, they're crying that we're in bondage. Yet they live beside their master's sons. LeBron James doesn't live by me. They live in the hills of Bel Air. Rich, young, powerful. Michael Jordan doesn't live in the woods down here. He has a condo uptown City, Charlotte, that costs him $2 million. That's just when he's in town. And so they have learned the ways of their oppressors, the same degree, because the oppressors did not give a damn, and they don't give a nicker's worth of rats down. You want to be like them? I want to be like YHWH HaMashiach. Deciding or disgrowing. I want to show us the same application in the Brit Hadassah in the New Testament. Same thing, no different. Bondage, captivity, the ignorance of a people. It's here in Mark chapter 8, 1 verse 12. And the reason this great agony of YHWH, because we are a wicked people. We always look for someone to show me. Show me what I did wrong. How do you know? That's how we talk. Show me. And this is what YHWH says to us. Mark chapter 8 verse 12. This is the gathering of the Pharisees and the religious mindset. And it says, and YHWH, he sighed, and nastin zor. As nastin zor. He took a deep, deep, captive breath. He sighed. He had to draw deep. He sighed deeply in his ruach. When the children of YisraYah'ale, the sons, sigh deeply, when they sigh deeply, in YHWH, this is what he was saying. It makes no difference what Yah does for you. You're going to be the same. That's a fact. If the Torah, the word of Yah, does not transform, it is powerful, it is sharper than any two-edged sword. It separates, it cuts. And the reason it doesn't possess that application on you, because you don't hear it. You don't listen. But he saw deeply in his ruach, saying, what does this, why does this generation seek after a Savior? Why they got to see something that is beyond their ability to perceptualize? It is transcending, it's beyond the common word process to even express that. That's the way we are. And those that were light to the people, they shown the miracles of healing, their lives. The damn liars, they're dogs. He said, why is it that this generation, we're that generation, why is it that they are always, we are seeking a sign? They will run from hell to lower hell, looking for the healer. And there's only one healer. Yeah. It's YHWH HaMashiach. Yeah. He sighed. There are not many places where the word sigh, aside, is used in Torah. How do I know? The student. And he deeply groaned. Oh my. Bondage doesn't change them. You kill them off, it doesn't change them. You kill all the old ones and brought in those that were 19 and above, and they are still fools. I don't care how many times someone tried to love you. If you're cold and evil as hell, you will never understand that. Is Yah love? Yeah. Is He love? Yes. And He tries to show us love, and we still perform evil. You think that, or you that are listening, 2019, that's how silly you are. Why is it, YHWH said, they're always looking for a sign? Then he says this emphatically, profoundly, without any adjudicating at all by our reasoning. Truly I say to you, there shall be no sign be given to this generation. You're looking for a sign, there's not one. Yeah. You will not understand even if it was a sign. Yahshua said, I said truly and factually, it is factually, this wicked generation, you thought he was talking to them. He's talking about the last of the generation. There are clowns out here that tell folks they're healing them, but there is no organic healing. Oral Roberts, the damnable dog, never performed one organic healing. Any of those men. There is not one account where a man went there with one leg shorter than the other, it grew out. There's not one count of Oral Roberts restoring some form of physicality anyone. They are dogs, and people will come from all over the world for the Benny Hinn's. There's not one child by the thousands as they wait in a corridor crippled that have been raised. There's always those things that are not visible. These are children of hell. They are the surrogates of Hashatan, and that's a 5 nations. I'm leading up this way so we'll understand. For you to think that you're someone special, as bogus born.
Yes.
As they were saying, my days, I'm a dirty sinner. We have no wisdom of anything, but I'm just saved by the kindness of Almighty God. One thing about my mentor, he would always remind me, don't ever think that you're someone special. You're no different than what we call a bomb on the streets. And I know I'm no different than a bomb on the streets. He stinks, I stink too.
Hallelujah.
Don't you ever think that? Well, I had no promotion or self-promotion myself. Even think like that. But I'm glad he warned me. See, we're so arrogant and grandizing, we don't want to tell us the truth.
Yes, hallelujah.
You don't know it.
Yeah.
You will know when someone knows that. You will see it in their performance.
Hallelujah.
I was thinking this morning, the only way we're going to get strong, we must hear the Torah of Yahweh. And I thought I said that in the days when I could get out on the basketball courts. I think about Brother Lindsay. I said, we get out there for an hour and a half and just shoot basketball. And you would throw the ball in a position where it would be difficult for him to hit. And so when you miss it, I get the ball. Even with my friend here, just throw the ball wild places. Well, in order for me to get strong in my game, my defense, and that was my thing. I love offense, but I love defense. I wanted the best player. I would play my friend in the back there because he was difficult to stop. He was a player. Why am I saying that? You're never going to get strong until your weaknesses or your weak mannerism is revealed. You ought to be glad that someone will tell you you're lying. You're fake and phony as hell. That's the only way you ought to get strong. And so what they would do, what my friend in the back, he would show my weaknesses. And I would work on that, pull it out. That did not mean that I could guard him every time. But I could kind of figure things out. But I knew as long as I played him, I would get better. And as long as we walk in truth. And this is a counsel of consistency, continuously of correction. And for you to think you've reached the climax, the mark, you're a fool. You're childish, you're immature. You have no knowledge of Yah at all. There shall be no sign given. I'm telling you this. Your spaceships are lies. Your spaceship are lies. Your theses of your doctrine, it is a twisted lie. It's a twisted lie. This is one of the only places. I will read this in 2nd Baruch. Then I want to get with the identity of a nation. I'll get Yeskel. And this is 2nd Baruch. 2nd Baruch. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Listen, sign of Baruch. Because if you read the whole chapter, if you never read anything that I've told you to read 2nd Baruch, chapter 6. You'll understand, it'll give you great insight. I didn't want to read it all because in this portion, the beginning, there are 4 verses that I will use. And these 4 verses, because the number 4, it's the numerology of the accountability of the creation. When Yah creates. When He creates. And so from the onslaught, I want to create a renewed mind in us. That we can identify with truth. So there are 4 verses. You count them all, there are 4. But I want you for assignment. Read 2nd Baruch, chapter 6. This is what he says when he saw the captivity, Chaldeans. He says this in verse 2. And I was grieving over Zion. I cried for Zion. And he says, I shall be aside. Is that you? I don't want to get too cold now. Say, well now, those who own, just do one. You all right right there? Just that one. Mama, if you get too cold, I'll turn it off for you, all right? All right. He says that I'm grieved over Zion. And there's a deep agony that resonates from my better. He said, because of the captivity which has come upon the people. You tell me. These delusional Hebrew Israelites, they're sighing, shall be an agony of deep cry of what they call the captivity of Yah's people when they denigrate those they identify as the people of Yah, when they scourge them and they mock them. Yah did not let the wicked even mock his people. Not that we had special attributes. You're no special than no one else. You're 6'5", it makes no difference. If I'm 4 foot, no. He said, I saw the captivity, the bondage of my people. He said, and I saw. I began to grow with great agony and great pain, which hath come upon the people. He said, if it had not been for that, I would have lost confidence. That's why I want you all to read that chapter. He said, and behold, suddenly, there was a strong ruach lifted me and carried me above the walls of Jerusalem. Yah says, I'm going to show you my plan. I will show you what I will do. And just like the ruach moved upon the vastness of Yah's creation, when he said, let there be ma'or, not all but ma'or, let there be rejoicing in the extreme of my creation. And the light shone and everything, the Melachim, they sing in the midst of the Hashemayim. That's a fact.
Yes.
That's a fact. So Yah lifted him above the circumstances. See the beauty of Yerushalayim, the mother, above that is the mother of YisraYah'ale, where they dwell in her arms, in her comfort. When I went to the beach, I sat, got there that Sunday, and I put together a teaching that I'm going to teach on Wednesdays. It is beyond profoundness. As I sat there and I studied things, I was amazed at one thing, how ignorant I am. My stupidity and how juvenile I am. Anytime you think you got something, you are a fool. I don't care who you are. You are a fool. I've given us 4 verses that deal with the kind, the people. So the Torah must create. For the name of creating. And I'm going to begin a process of creating, that we will not be bound by the shackles of this.
Yeah.
I want to show us all something Shaul writes to us. YHWH. This is the way we think. YHWH, Galatians chapter 3, chapter 6, and chapter 6 and verse 3. This is the mind of his nation. YHWH chapter 6 verse 3. Then we're going to YisraYah'ale. It is profound that Yah granted or commanded this Nobi, this prophet. His name means the strength of Yah. Yah's my strength. He came from the ordination of his father Muzai, who was a Kohan. And he had learned the ways of Yah. But there was one thing for this prophet. He was for the appointed time. Will prove all things, nation.
Yeah.
He was for at a time appointed. Appointed time. This is what Shaul reminds us. For if any man thinks in himself to be this, to be something, I know that I'm something. I don't care who you are. If you think that you're something, you think you're the possessor of great things, if you think that you're something, turn that one off back there too. You want some time. Hallelujah. If any man thinks, if you even ponder that you are this and great and mighty, this is the revelation. What Shaul says. When he is midis, he's nothing. He's not even worthy to be recognized because you think you're something. That's what, and I hate that application. It's all right to use it, but we're special. But let's get it in line. Who made us special?
Yeah.
You're not special because you say you are Hebrew Israelites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're special because Yah has a covenant with you.
Hallelujah.
You're special because he commands obedience and faithfulness. And when you do that, that's when you're special.
Yeah.
There is no hard-headed young'un that defies the order of the house with a consistence. And the mama, the daddy say, you're so special, baby. No. It's a battle with that foolish child, that son, that daughter. You don't relegate that kind of superlative to them if we obey. If we do what he commands us. If we are faithful in the administration of Yah. He says, he is midis. He is not even nothing. He's a nobody. Wants to be somebody. There's nothing like a nobody with lies and pretense that they're someone. That's an evil, I don't care if you're male or female. That's a sadistic devil.
Yes.
Nothing more evil than that. He said he is nothing. So he deceives. He deceives himself. So who deceives you? I'm not deceiving no one. It's your mind. His own mind. Your own mind, daughter, deceives you. Your own mind tells you you're right and you are wicked and you're wrong. Your own mind, son, tells you that I did it right and I love everyone. You are a wicked liar. You've established this idolatrous place to not share that you congregate here, you make your worship, and you don't give a knickers what the rat's down about who you spread your lies to. I want this when I sit here, I want to tell you the truth. I don't want to tell you a lie.
Yeah.
I want your mind to be protected when I finish.
Yeah.
And you will know above all things he has been honest. He's been a decent man today.
Yeah.
That's what I want. I'm not here for pretense.
Yeah.
You will know that And there will be no doubt in your mind that it was delivered right to you. Not your neighbor, one sitting beside you. This is for you. That's right. For you. So if you ever think that you're someone or something, you're middays, you are nothing. You're the possessor of nothing. But the same thing that I'm the possessor of. Death. You're going to die. Do you know what I say that people, oh, this is how we think. Well, I'm living to live. I'm going to die to myself. I'm dying from my own will and my own lies and the things that corrupt me. You got to die from that. Because if you're not dead from that, you can't die. That's why I'm ready to die. When it comes time, I'm living to live. And that's just a fact. So I said the preface that it may examine us and show us why. Yeah. The things he does is because of our wickedness to spare us and to remind us. You can search the annals of Torah. He did not deal with the Moabites like he dealt with YisraYah'ale. He will kill them. He will send the sword of his anger against nations. He will cause us to be in captivity and bondage. And we still haven't gotten right since then. It was nearly 900 in some kind of proximity, 900 years plus, from this time of the Exodus until he escaped. And Yah raised up a Nobi from a house of that degree for a specific purpose. To teach his nation, to guide them, and above all to reveal the hidden motives of their own corrupt heart. So let me begin here in YisraYah'ale in chapter 1, and I want to proceed through the chapters as I teach this teaching until I get again the 16th chapter, where he reminded us of who we were. In essence, you are nothing. You think your pedigree makes you special. I'll tell you, your mammy was and your pappy. Look at them. You're all in the position you're in because I elected you.
Hallelujah.
You are a pile of dung. And I picked you, the fewest.
Hallelujah.
You had nothing to offer. You have no strength. So that's what this is about. We think that we're someone, but we're actually nothing. You think you're special, you're not special. If it's anything, you make the one before you special. We're a nation, we won't even do special things for each other. I love doing things for the nation. I just do. I don't care what we have, I do. Let me begin here in YisraYah'ale chapter 1, verse 27 and 28. I want you to read that quickly. This is what the Nobi saw. He said, I saw this amberest, this color of amber, as the appearance of fire round about within it. And I saw this thing, or this being. He said, and the thing that was most impressive, he said his loins, his motive. You know what that represents? Only one thing. Only one thing. That our loins must be girded, tight girded about with emat. He knew that that was the truth, what he saw. He knew that that was the truth, what he saw. He didn't need no explanations. He didn't need no milak to come and explain. So we must allow our loins, our girding. This must be good about. That represents the betem. That represents the heart and the mind. It must be girded about. You see, a girdle for a woman draws the men. It gives an illusion of size and shape. Same thing with the man. Men wear girdles. I can't feel that. The men wear girdles, no different. No different. So he commands, he saw this one, and the thing that he was impressed so was his loins, his belted, his belly, his hips. That's what the word belted means. So our loins must be girded. That's the strength of our balance. We can stand upright.
Yeah.
We can stand erect. And so he noticed the loins of Yahshua, HaMashiach, this appearance of his loins, even downwards, where his legs, where his strength, how it maturated and made him stronger. He said, I saw as it was, as it were the appearance of fire, and it had been brightness round about. Verse 28. And as the appearance of the bow that is in the clouds of Yah's promise of the day of rain. He put the rainbow there to give us promise. Hallelujah. He will never again destroy us like he did those during Noah's time. Hallelujah. So he signifies the promise. I know that this is Yah's promise unto us, nation here, in your condition. He said, I saw the brightness as in the day of rain. So the appearance of the brightness round about. This, he identifies. This was the mar'eth, the appearance. He said it was beyond phenomenal. It was beyond spectacular. I saw this in the demuth. He said in the likeness. It was the same similitude. It was the same appearance of what? Of the likeness of the splendor of Almighty Yah. That's what we represent. The splendor of Yah in Yahshua. We represent Yahshua's splendor. We can't be fake and phony and full of lies and corruption and say we represent His excellence. Yeah. We cannot be. He said, I saw the splendor of Yah. And when I saw it, I fell upon my face. And I heard a voice of one that spoke. That's why we must have ear to hear. We must hear what the Ruach speaks. Hallelujah. We must hear what Yah utters in this hour. Yeah. And He's not telling you how special you are. He's not telling you that. He's not telling you that you're going to have those that put you on the bondage back on the same kind of bondage. His presence alone for 1 second will speak for a million years of the beauty of what you and I have ascertained. Yeah. His promise alone is more than enough. That we can bring His beauty back to the brightness of this eras. We can work. Go in the city in the evening and rest. This is not some kind of fictitious tale. This is the truth. Because our minds have been raised in fictitious things, false things, things of lies, reality of things we don't even know how to comprehend. We don't even know how to utilize it, that it may strengthen us. He said, I saw this one. Where were they? They were in captivity in Pobed. Where is the appointed one for this hour? We've had those from the different camps that they all are appointed. There is no agreement. There is dissent among them. Such dissent that they all start their own thing with the same kind of intros and the same kind of feces as the one they separated from. But because he said one thing that they didn't like, it all comes from the same belly of hell. Yeah. It all comes from the same pit of darkness and hell. That's where it comes from. But I'm not here for you. You got problems with that what I said, let it be your problem, because it is not my problem.
Hallelujah.
And it makes me no difference what your problem is. It's amazing how people think when they don't agree with what you said or the format you bring it up in, they got a disagreement or a problem with that. I don't give a knicker's worth of hogs, fried chitlins, what you think.
Hallelujah.
And they are doing nothing but watching videos all day. That's a sick life. That's a sick life.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Shabbat.
He gives the illustration of the power, the hand of Yah, because he was appointed to represent Yah's strength. That's what YisraYah'ale implied, his name, the strength of Yah. We need the strength of Yah among us as a nation. That's what we need. His word is a sure thing. His dabarim, his promises, we can stand on that. You don't have to understand to stand on it, just hold fast to it. And as the old ones in their unintelligent ways, they would say, by and by, as I continue traversing in this path, I'll get understanding. I'll get understanding of the matter. So y'all raise up this man. Chapter 2 of YisraYah'ale. He gave him one directive. He gave him a directive. Ezekiel, chapter 2, verse 3. This is what Yah said unto him. He called him the son of Adam bin Adam. You're the man. You have been erected for my purpose. You have been nurtured in the house of your Avad Buzah, a Kohan, that you understand what is right. Now I'm going to send you as a Nabi, as a messenger that brings Yah's judgment. All of them today are sending their prophets. But what judgment or prophecy of the judgment has been proven out? I want to be a simple messenger, Melech, one that teaches Yah's truth. They are prophets unto themselves. They are not a prophet for me to listen to. And that's just a fact. This is what Yah says to him. He says, Ben Adam, I have sent. He clarifies everything. You're not to the Moabites or the Chaldeans, Romans. He said, I've sent you to the children of YisraYah'ale. Is that us? Are we the children? Are we the Bain? Are we the children of I am? Yeah. You can identify with anything you want to, but I'm a son of YisraYah'ale. I've been purchased by the dam of Yahshua. And the first identity of this nation, he called them a marad. He said they're rebellious. They're rebellious. They're hard-headed. They're revolt. They're self-righteous. They're indignant in their ways. Did he say the house? Who did he send them to? Did he say he did not say I send you to the Chaldeans or Babel. This was in this great affliction, YisraYah'ale in Babel, Babylon, in the bondage of captivity, and you allowed everything to bring you unto that seduction of captivity. You want to be like the world, you want to do what the world does, you want to act like the world, you want to progress like the world. I don't want to do what the world does.
Yeah.
I don't want to have what they have. Something is sick in your mind. Even a lion, when it has hunted the prey, when it gets enough and everyone, the rest. Even the hyenas will come and other beasts, they don't even fight them to get it because we got our pride here, there, and nine of us. And all of we be brothers, we're back to the bone. If we have to, we can take down a bull, but we leave him alone. We take down a bull elephant. See, even a beast will say, I got enough. But the spirit of this nation and the world is beyond the spirit of a beast. $1 billion doesn't satisfy. 100 billion, 1 trillion, they're worse than dogs. Greedy, demonic. I want it all. I don't want nobody to have anything. That's evil. That's evil. Very evil. Sadistically evil. They don't give a child there from the coast of the Ivory Coast, her age, working 10, 12 hours a day. His age, working all day. His age, 8, 9, 12-hour job. In 1 year age, there's no break at all. These are greedy bastards. I'm not going to be like that. And that's a fact. He said, this is a rebellious nation. Is that the classification he classified us as?
Yes.
Those that identify with the supreme person of Hebrew Israelite, are they not rebellious?
Yes.
They rebel against everything. The laws of their wickedness is so corrupt. They get drunk, they rape the daughters, the women, they take advantage of those. No different than a Benny Hinn or lion devil dog or a Creflo Dollar. They rob and they live well. So they can have 4 or 5 quote wives unquote. And that's a fact. Yah says this is a rebellious Amorite, a rebellious nation that has rebelled against me. He didn't say they rebelled against the Chaldeans. He said they have rebelled against me. Not against Babel. They rebelled against me. And Yahweh caused the increase of nations so they could see under that same bondage as those that are under bondage within a much more refined scope than it is now. They don't need to put you on the shackles and make you labor in a field. They have shackled your mind.
Hallelujah.
Your mind cannot think. It is not the mind of Yahshua. They have shackled your mind. You can't move. You can't move away from the television. You can't move away from the computer. You can't move away from it. And I know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You can't move away from things. You are captivated. You have become enslaved to, and that's the truth.
Yes.
Things that have no value, no purpose, they have no meaning. We're drawn to that.
True.
We are drawn to it.
Hallelujah.
That's a fact. Your days you didn't have that, so you had to get out and do something.
Hallelujah.
Boring sitting in the house. I often say I'm glad that I grew up in the
Hallelujah.
era that I did.
Yes.
I am.
Hallelujah.
I'm glad we didn't have Wi-Fi and all of that. I use it now. I was looking for chicken wire for the excellent job they did here. I can order it from Amazon, that rich devil. It will cost me $4 more. $4 more. Whereby I can drive right down here to I can drive right down here to Agra Supply. I said to him, it would take me half a day. Got to put gas in the truck. It's going to take me half a day to drive. They don't have any TSC. It would take me half a day to drive down to Agra Supply. I'm tired when I get back. I don't feel like doing anything. I say when they will drop it off prime, no cost, 127 versus 124, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to order from Amazon.com. Well, I'm going to stop because he's getting too rich. Well, your $5 of mine $30 is not going to change one thing at all. So I'm going to order it. They will drop it right here. We're walking over there. When I get it, I can be gotten to work that day.
Hallelujah.
I don't feel like working like that when I drive all the way down there and got to drive back. I don't feel it. I like to get up in the morning and kick it. I can rock all day like that. I don't want to do that. So that's what, we don't have that mind. We rebel against you. They rebel against me. They and their fathers, they have shot. They have transgressed. They have apostatized. They want to quarrel with me. They want to debate me. That is what transgression is. Shah. We want to question Yah. Have we ever done that? Well, tell me where I went wrong. Tell me what I did wrong. No, it's you. No, it's you. It's like a child. A child telling the mother, tell me what I did wrong. People say that. Well, what did I do? You know what you did, liar. I tell them like that. You're a filthy liar. You know exactly what you have done, dirty liar. That's the way we are.
Yeah.
We are built that way. When they accused YHWH, he didn't answer a word. The reason we answer because I'm guilty. You're guilty. He didn't answer one word. He didn't even open his mouth. You got it. Because I'm not going to defend me. What I do is going to defend me. What you do will defend you.
Hallelujah.
Not what you say. What you do will defend you. And others will see the work of Yah in you.
Hallelujah.
And then they will honor him. He said, not only have the fathers transgressed against me again, he says, even to this very day. Are we in the very day of Yah? Sure we are. Even to this very day, we still transgress against him. Even to this very day, we lie, we do evil. You think he's coming back this year? I give you the end of your secular year. I'll wait until Yah's New Year began in your next secular year. I want to see him, all right? I want to see him. The Nabi saw him in the excellence of the splendor of Almighty Yah. He saw the visage of YHWH HaMashiach. The world has blinded our minds so we can't see truth. We don't want to see truth. We don't want to see the purpose of Yah in nothing. Can I tell you all this? We got to be real. I'm going to show you what it's going to take, all right? Not only that, he says that, but in verse 4, he says that they are impotent children. We're not stiff-hearted. We're impotent. Nobody's going to instruct. Yah is not going to instruct. Yah says to us, now you think you're someone special. And I'm telling you, to this day, you're just like your wicked puppies.
Hallelujah.
Aholah and Aholabah, they were nothing but dirty whores. The religious construct the way they walk. They lay with every kind of idol there was. That's what they did. They dressed themselves like a whore to try to draw others. And that is the same thing that this Hebrew Israelite doctrine has done. The women dress like whores. The women dress like whores, earring down to their back, nose ring, titties out, no more than Eddie Long's whores. That's how they dress. You can say what you want to. Pants so tight. When they gather what they call feast days, women got on shorts and they planned softball and everything with the men. Their titties flopping like a hound dog. I don't care if you don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't care if this doesn't fit you. You offend the Most High.
Hallelujah.
They get together and they jumping up and down. They scent the aroma. And lust for young boys in shorts and shirts off. That's just a fact.
Yes.
The babies with short little pants on, and that's not of your nation.
Hallelujah.
It's unclean, it's unrighteous.
Yeah.
It's not of Yah. And you're evil if you participate in anything like that. Any kind of gathering,
Hallelujah.
any kind of social environment when it comes to Yah.
Yes.
You're evil. I'm not coming to your cookouts or any of that. And that's a fact. When you justify that, you know it's evil. He said, for they are impotent children, they are stiff-hearted.
Yes.
You're not going to tell them what to do. You're not going to instruct them. They're not going to obey. Don't tell me that that's of Yah.
Yeah.
When they're in long whorehouses, the teenagers, they dress like that. The women coming on in with pants on, and don't tell me you cannot see their body anatomy. You don't have to look to see it. It's there. It's visible. Don't tell me that.
Yes.
Is that because the man is drawn with lust? Brother, you see it wrong.
Yes.
Woman with those leotard-like things on. You know that's evil. You know that's not right. And they dress like that. That's evil. And that's what they call their women. And they have no shame of taking advantage of those that are simple and abusing them just for some sensual type of expression. There's no satisfaction. They don't even know what to do. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
I want you to come at me. Please do. I love it. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. He said, for the impotent children that stiff-necked, he shall send you to them. You see that? He has to send a man to us that will not be intimidated, will not be afraid, and he will not back down. He said, I send you to them, and you shall say to them. This is what the sovereign master has said. He said, but I want to give you a strong consolation. Don't be discouraged. Don't be perturbed at them. Don't think you're in this alone, because I'm in it with you. I am the one that guides you. Verse 5. He says, and they, whether they will hear Shemach, open their hearts or not, or whether they will refuse. Yah says, I don't give a damn. It makes no difference. For they are rebellious, a nirma. They are wicked, they are deceitful, they are a wicked house. A rebellious house. Is this nation?
Yes.
Are you in this house?
Yes.
But yet you're special. We're somebody special. That's why Yah said you don't even know your pedigree, boy. What you came out of, and you call the Hamites dirty, stinking Africans. Because all people are black doesn't mean that they're black people. When you classify all people that you identify as white people as Esau, how can that be? There is even physicalities that are different. When I was in Europe, the German man didn't look like the Russian with the high bone cheek. The Russians are some bad boys. They're bad. The British white boys, they're soft. They're not like the white boys in America. White boy here he'll go down with you. He will hurt you. The Hell's Angels, they're in Britain. They're not like these white boys in America. They'll kill you, your mama. The skinheads in America, they will blow your mama up, they will cut your baby in half, and they will spit in your grandmama's face, cut her head out, and spit in it again. The boys in Britain are not going to do that. The boys in South Africa don't do it that way. The boys in Canada, they're not like white boys here. That's fact. Different breed. That's a fact. There's other nations that do not have like hell's angels or the outlaws. The outlaws in Sweden or Switzerland or Finland, they're not like the outlaws that originated in Chicago. They will cut your head off, your mama's head off, stomp you in the face, and pick your head up and take it with them and drag it on their bike. That's a different kind of a white boy. It is. That's the way it works. And that's the way they roll. So you can't tell me. The mentality is different. The attitude. So you identify all white people as the son of Esau, and I don't defend no damn dirty white boy. If they're white, they're evil. No more than I defend a black man. They all are evil. There's only one man that is upright, and the man that is after the heart of YHWH, how much you walk in that counsel. That's a fact. Now, I don't care if you don't like it.
Hallelujah.
So you are saying to us, that's why I'm leading us down this processional. We think we're somebody. We think we're special. We think we got something. We don't have His Torah written on the tables of our mind. Within us, we're as wicked as any man. He said, I'm trying to show you a bit of kindness. I'm going to kill the Moabites, but I'm going to put you in the hands of Bobel. And they're going to treat you with indifferences. And I'm going to leave you there for a while until you recognize that I am the great I am.
Hallelujah.
We don't recognize that. This generation, after 400 years, they're nothing like the generation 100 years ago. Can I say this before I proceed a little further? I was saying to us as we were traveling back, was one thing about the people of my hue in America, after slavery and all of that, there was exception of builders and farmers. They farmed. The white man did not farm. They farmed. They had all the skill sets to build a nation here. But as soon as they won what they call their freedom, they all wanted to be smart. I recall Louis Farrakhan saying, this was 40 years ago. I heard Louis Farrakhan say this. He said, you must understand, when I was a young man, he said, Latin was nothing for our schools. We learned Latin, we learned. He said, we were smart. They learned those kinds of things. And that's where the concept, my mother, go to school, get a good education, and get a good job. Those, unquote, were her words. And so they moved away from those things. And George Washington said, Carver said, he says, amazing that when I went among the people who looked like me, their homes were shabby shacks, but they were brilliant. They could speak of so many subjects, speak Latin and all of that, but their houses looked like where dogs lived. And they took that same concept of the large cities. They showed each other the Harlem Renaissance, that I'm smart, but you live in a damn rat hole. The slums that the Jews, the Russians, and all lived in has been turned over to you, and you made it much more of a rat hole. They ones in the DCs, they ones in the northern cities, but they have forgotten the skills to build a house, fix up a house, to do it right. They had turned away from that. So they couldn't. They could not. So they thought the intellectual capacity made them rich. And the poverty ensued them. It did. Things I will use YouTube for, I'll be honest. I'm a student of, especially farming. I see people look like me that they call black farmers. Many of them were in small farms in the year because They take stuff. There's a black family down here. They're sweet potato growers. I hate I lost that. He got a catalog. I said, can I keep this for a while? And they're prolific sweet potato growers. They're not far from us. I got to find them. I'm going to find them. And the largest, you're going to find the largest farm for them is 100 acres. That's not a lot of land. And they're only farming like 20 acres. But they are proficient. They are. I've seen the women. Oh, my husband, we were born here. This where we got married. You know, he passed on. Bless the good Lord for him. And I've been here since he passed on 32 years. Farmer of the year sheep. That kind of stuff makes me cry. You cry on board, but that kind of stuff moves me. And I see the implements in what little they have. But they make it work. 40 acres in the mule, where isn't? You want to live like the Jefferson. You want to live on Fifth Avenue. And it's sad. It's sad. Let me get back to this. You're not, this is what he said in verse 5. He said, you're not sent to a people of strange, amuk, unintelligent. What I say to you today, is that hard to understand what I'm saying? Of a nation of amuk, strange speech. Of a language that is hard, but you're sent to YisraYah'ale. You're sent to my people. You're sent to my elect. And we are people, we get perturbed when there are things spoken to us that we don't like. Yes. We get very selfish. We get angry when Yah speaks to us. He's self-grandizing, arrogant individual. He's not coming in 2019. You're not going nowhere in 2019. You're not going to YisraYah'ale, and there are no spaceships coming. Desires. Yes. This generation that is unreprovable, you come in strong. You tell me he's coming just for black people. The white folks got the same kind of concept on their side. It's no different. He's coming for YisraYah'ale. Nation of his elect scattered abroad. They have prevailed against all things. They have prevailed against the hardness of their own heart when they didn't know how to love. They prevailed against their own wicked heart to learn how to love. When they didn't know how to be kind, they prevailed against their own wicked evil ways to learn how to be kind.
Yahweh. Yeah.
That's what they have prevailed against.
Yeah.
And that's a fact. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
He said, I send you to the house of YisraYah'ale, to a nation of my people. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
He implied, let me look at that again. You're not sent to a people of strange or amuk, people that don't know that your language will be foreign to them. You see, this kind of teaching today is foreign to the people. Was he the emissary of Yah, YisraYah'ale? When he speak in the language of Yah, did Yahshua send people or men to speak in the interpretation and the translation of the language of Yah in him? So he has done the same thing. From that generation after his death, they have gone forth to tell us only YisraYah'ale, and they are the only ones that can understand. Nobody else can understand. That's why if you hear what the Torah speaks and teach, you will know. Let me show an example, all right? Tell me if this is a lie. Yakanan, quickly. Quickly, Yakanan, Yakanan. Tell me if this is a lie. I want to ask you the question. Is this a lie here? John chapter 10. One verse I want to read. He speaks of his immanence, his voice. He says, I am the kalos, or I am the tav shepherd. And the word kalos is kalos Kalos not only means excellent, but it means of its primary root. It means one thing. I'm the honest. See, we don't even know if someone is honest today. What a damn shame.
Hallelujah.
Can I tell you something? We ordered a camera and I sent it off. It's been gone. They did not return the funds because I will use that and get another one or a system that will do what we need to do because I want to teach at times. And so I've written to this company via Amazon 3 times. It'll post in the next 7 days. You won't get by with that when you're done. So I called yesterday. Our hours are from 9:30 to 2 on Fridays. I knew what that meant. Saturdays we're closed. We open up on Sunday from 9. Well, I knew exactly what that was. And so I talked to one mother named of D. That was her name. When I finished with her, I said, I do apologize, ma'am. If I somewhat I'm shown to be insensitive. But I said that this business, I have dealt with Amazon for nearly 20 plus years, 25 years. And I've never had to deal with this kind of attitude. Can I tell you what? She said, well, we'll get it posted, as I said. And she said, you don't have to apologize. And I tell you that 3 hours later was there. What did you do? I spent it on. On what? Well, horses for the children and lights, and indoor basketball goal, another basketball goal. That's what all of it went. Plus some more. Indoor horses, another house for the children, a basketball goal that'll take 130 pounds. You can pull up on that thing and do exercise. Now, how about that? It'll take weight up to 130 pounds. I had a basketball goal there. You can adjust. I got tools for the boys. If they will think it's real stuff, they can build houses. They can cut stuff. Now, hold off on the mother thing, all right? That's what I did with it. That's why I wanted it back. To be a Tuesday. You put everything together, you better get it right for my youngins. Hallelujah. Yeah. And what he says here, Joshua said, I'm the tough shepherd. John 10:14, I am the kalos. I'm excellent. And above all, I'm honest. If nothing else, be honest with each other nation.
Hallelujah.
If you're upset, I'm just upset. I'm acting stupid. No one else is acting stupid. It's you. Yeah. And I'm honest about that. When I'm stupid, I'm stupid. And I will tell you I'm stupid. I'm stupid. I'm immature. It's not really mine. And when you cut up, I'll let you know. But I'm honest. He says, I am the tough shepherd. I'm the tough shepherd. He says, and I genosko, I know, I understand, I perceive. And genosko is used as an idiom in the language of the Hebrew people. And it's represented by a husband and wife when there's an excitement and an enjoyment with each other. That's what genoskos is. So to express genoskos, you have to be a husband or wife and understand the details of that moment and that time, all right? That's what gnosko is. He says, I know my sheep, I know my people, I'm known of mine, and they know me. I know mine, and they know me. I'm known of mine. And then quickly to verse 26 in the same chapter, he said, but you believe not. Verse 26. You don't believe because you are not my probaton. You're not my sheep. That's why we don't believe, because we're not his. He said, you're going to a house, to a people Their language is not strange at all. They know, they've heard, and we are a nation we don't even know. Yeshua said only the sheep or those in the pasture of Yah, the probat, or they know my voice. They know who I am. And when I speak, they understand. And they will know. I don't know this language of this generation. I don't know it. Because it doesn't deal with one of the most insidious things in us and our wicked, sinful ways. We're going to get back to YisraYah'ale. I'm trying to show us that this theme runs throughout Torah. He told him, I'm sending you to a people. They're rebellious, they're hard-headed, they're wicked. But I do this to you, son. It's not a people that doesn't understand the language. You will speak. But because they're so asinine and hard-headed, they're going to rebel. Yeshua speaks the same thing here. I know my people. They know me. I know my sheep. And they know me. And then he said, and I say to you, my sheep hear my voice. Those are the only ones that hear the voice of Yah. Yes. He said, my sheep hear my voice. You'll understand that. He said, my people, they hear my voice. My sheep, my probator, those that have been purchased by my dam, my blood, they yada. They know my voice. That's why Yah says to YisraYah'ale, those that are rebellious dogs, they're not going to hear you. You're going to speak to people that's mine. And among them there are wolves and devils and all kinds that are evil. Yes. You're not going to tell me you identify the nation because the ones your skin. And because where they are born. You're going to ask the question, who is your father? Well, my father is African. My grammar is better than yours. Well, you're not Israelite. That's stupid mess. The nation was scattered throughout the Erat. Babel was scattered, were they not? Yes. To every realm of the earth. And they created societies. And they grew and they built. That's what happened. So his nation was just not brought here to the Americas. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. And these are lies. And they rape the minds of the people. And because the people are ignorant, they buy it. We don't examine anything for ourselves to understand what does it mean. Now you can examine things and understand the details of it no more than you can examine a medical paper or a thesis and you can elaborate from that. That's silly. You must be taught. Yes. Then he says in verse 26, but you believe not because you're not my probator. He said you don't believe because you're not my people. That's what he said. That's what Yahshua said. Yah says you're not going to a people that your voice should be strange. They should know. He said, because I say to you, my sheep hear my voice. I know my sheep, and they follow me. What is one of the most profound utterances that he gave unto us? And I tell you all to love the Abba, keep the mitzvot, the commandments. To love him with all your mind, your strength, and all of your being. And then you love each other the same way. You got to. You are a wicked hypocrite if you don't do that. You don't know Yah. You don't even love him. You don't even care. And you're not his. I don't care. It's you. And that's a fact. You can't be partial. Hallelujah. You have to do right by people all the time. The same kind. This one's right. And that was wrong, she's wrong. You incriminate this one. He's wrong, he's right, you incriminate him because of her. And that's just a fact. Yes. You don't do it that way. Yeah. It must be your shot, it must be just. God tells us all something. Anytime you got one that complain all the time, that's the culprit. Yes. I'm telling you. Folks live next door to wicked people and call themselves, and they don't complain. But anytime you got to complain, I'm going to teach you on that too. I've taught on this over the nearly 40 years I've been preaching, but it needs to be heard again. You got people that complain about everyone. An honest person, the first thing they will say, you know, when a man does wrong or wife does wrong, he doesn't go there and say, well, what you call, she's like that, he's like that. First thing he would say, confesses, I was wrong. I did you wrong, baby. I did you wrong. I wasn't right. You know when a person does that, even when say, I'm wrong. Sometimes I do think that, sometimes my emotions get the best of me. When people do that, it facilitates a love that is beyond respect. Because there's nothing like honesty. But a liar, I hate liars. I don't like liars. If you like liars, you like the devil. I don't like liars. I don't like children lying to me. And I despise an adult lying to me. And you don't fabricate things. You tell things like it is. If she said no, it was no. And don't twist things in your own conceptualizing of things. That's evil. I may not look like I'm walking with Yah, but you don't know. And you began to intrigue me, you'll find out, oh my, this, he knows more than I thought he would know. I like him. Or I don't like him. It makes no difference. He said, my sheep know me. They yada, they hear. They hear me. They know my voice. And not only that, why? We follow him in verse 28, and I give to them eternal life, and they shall never perish. And that I like. That part I really love. I love it all, but that. He says, and I give to them everlasting life. Liolam viat. He said, and they shall never perish, neither shall any man pluck them out of my hand. That's all right. No man's going to pluck me out of the hand of Yahshua. You're not going to convince me with lies and corruption. I'm not going to be convinced with that, your emotions. And that's what this nation, those that say they're YisraYah'ale, that's what they've been convinced by, emotionalism. They're not in the hands of Yahshua, no, they're in the hands of this effeminate thing they call Jesus. I'm not going to respect that lie. You. And if you respect that lie like that, something is wrong with you. He's a flat-out faggot dog, and the black one is just as faggot.
Yes.
You see, if they talk to me like that, especially, I don't even allow my natural sister. She's never, whenever she talks to me, call me or whatever. She's called me 5 or 6 times before I even return the call. They never say nothing like that to me. They know better. Because I will tell them it's a wicked lie. He's not Jesus. He has a name of his kind, his people. There's a name that is Hebrew. Mr. Netanyahu, his name is Netanyahu. He's there, the prime minister of Israel, that little slit of the land. You don't call him Nate. His name is not a lie. And if you buy that lie, you will believe a lie. And these twisted dogs are not going to tell you the truth.
Hallelujah.
They brought you under the captivity of those lies and those images. You can say what you want to. I'm an older man. We had the white Jesus always on the Bible in our house.
True.
And that's a fact.
Hallelujah.
You had the white Jesus picture on the wall. And that's a fact. And so that became a part of our social identity. And it's a twisted damn lie. It couldn't have been like that. Faggot, when you said hippies were evil, long hair, you got this faggot beast in the house. Come on, people, let's get real.
Hallelujah.
Let's get real now. It's a lie.
Hallelujah.
And this dreadlock faggot thing they call the black Jesus, he's just as effeminate. It's the same feminine thing. Same kind of image. Just the one skin is black and one is white. And this black, look at what is causing more hell on the people of YisraYah'ale as much as this white devil one did. He was not that. And just to know for a fact, he was not born. He did not come forth out of America. Let's get real. He did not come forth out of Sweden. You don't have to be smart to understand that. And other folks that can say, well, it ain't about come. You lie. Tell all robbers that. Pull the devil up.
Yeah.
Pull up that whole Mother Teresa. We're stupid.
Hallelujah.
This is a fact. And people look like me get so much, they get upset more than, well, you know, you are that stupid. I'm not going to defend that white lie. It's a wicked lie. Let's get real.
Hallelujah.
The lie he came out of would have not given that complexion, that look. Let's get real.
Yeah.
You're not even honest with yourself. You're certainly not honest with Yahweh when you know that's a lie.
Hallelujah.
Damn that dog.
Yeah.
That dog. But I do BERESHITH.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
And I'm not apologizing to no man.
Yeah.
No black man and no white man. No Jew man. I don't have a problem with Jews because they're Jews all they want to. I know the Zerah of Yehuda. You understand? I don't have a problem with that. And their skin complexion, look at that. Come from everyone from his complexion. See, been getting too much sun, so you'll know all them to right and him. Look at her. Look at them. Come on, get out of here. Let's get real, people. With that image that we have become so accustomed that we almost fear the image. Can't get rid of my Jesus, well, I damn you, Jesus.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
And your dirty God too.
Hallelujah.
These images of lies. No different than them than their calves. They built their images. Oh, you know, don't say that, baby. I said it. And I don't repent of it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let nobody talk that Jesus lied to me.
Hallelujah.
And I respect them more than I respect truth. I will recall, hold up now. No. That's the way it goes, my boss man now. How do you get a Jesus? That effeminate? Well, your old brother, you can, no, hold up now. I don't let them do that with me.
Hallelujah.
And I'm not going to let them do that with me. So my sister doesn't say anything with you. And my natural brother, I hadn't talked with him, I don't know how long. He hung up on what I told him the dog he was. He doesn't talk about Allah.
Hallelujah.
Because I told him, your God is a damn dog.
Yeah.
You understand? He didn't have no defense to defend his God. What a coward. So you don't come to me with the Jesus talk.
Yeah.
You be your Jesus Hebrew, all right? I am of YisraYah'ale. I hear the voice of Yahshua, and I know. I gave you, now on this what I began here on the identity. And all of that I gave us, what did I say? I gave us 10 verses. No? What's the last verse I read?
28.
28 of what?
John.
Of John. I've got ahead of myself. Hallelujah. I want to go back to Ezekiel. I read us, and it was 6 verses I read. It shows us the weakness of man. After Ezekiel 2:4, did I read that? Ezekiel 2:4 and all of that. I want to go quickly here. Let me move back a pace. Let's go back to YisraYah'ale, the prophet that Yah prepares. His diet is different than all others' diets. All right? And I'll clean that up as I go. But let me show you something here. What Yah says in Ezekiel 3:1. It says, moreover, he said to me, then Adam, I want you to eat what you find. We must eat truth. I will prove all things by Torah. He said, eat what you find. He said, I want you to eat the Michdillah. I want you to eat the roll. Don't hear that. I want you to eat this book, this scroll, this roll. And then he says, I want you to go and speak to the house of YisraYah'ale. Unless a man is knowledgeable in the way of Yahweh, he cannot speak to the house of YisraYah'ale. He must. Impotent children. He said, I want you to go and I want you to eat this roll. Does it say that in Ezekiel 3:1?
Yes.
Now I want to make some clarification of that. You don't understand that unless you understand this. Hold that there. I'll go quickly here to Revelation Gilgana. This is in the day as Yah said to YisraYah'ale, he prepared him. This is what this is all about, a deliberate preparation in YisraYah'ale 3:1, as I had read from YisraYah'ale 2:4, concerning the children. They're impotent, they're wicked, they're liars, they're corrupt. Then he tells him, I want you to eat what's in my hand, what you find. What you find, I want you to eat it. He told him it was a Megillah, it was a scroll. That's what a Megillah is, it was a book. It was a book. I want you to eat that. And the Megillah is specific in the book. It was instructions of Yah, what you must do and how you must do it. That's what this book that we have tells us, right? Now, to understand the factuality of this book, Revelation 8 and 10. This is the day when the 7 Melach sounds the alarm for the nation. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Hear the same voice that directs the Shalish up to eat. Revelation 10 and 8. He says, and the phone, or the voice, the words uttered. He says, and the voice, the sound of the uttered words of Yah, which I heard from the Shema in the heavens, spoke to me again and said, go and take the little book. That's what it says. He said to YisraYah'ale, eat what you find. He says to Yachanan, go and take the little book, the Bibli, take the little book, which is open in the hand of the Melach, which stand upon the sea and upon the earth. Look what he says in verse 9 now. And I went to eat, and I went to the Melach. And he said, and I said to him, I want you to give me the little book. And he said to me, take it. You must eat it up. It shall be in your belly like your pinroino. It's going to be bitter. It's going to render the anger and the indignation of Yah. Same thing he said to YisraYah'ale here in 3:1. Eat the scroll, eat the book, because they're going to see my vengeance. They're going to see my hostility and my anger. He said, I send you to a people that is not of hard speech. They know that this is me speaking to them. He says the same thing for that appointed time, for that nation. He's speaking the same thing to Yachanan, for the appointed people, for the appointed time, for the same nation. Has it changed? Or is it still rebellious and hard-headed? It is still rebellious and hard-headed. It still does things its way. It defies Yah. It has no love for Yah at all, nation. And so the same preparation for YisraYah'ale, he prepares Yachanan for rebellious, hard-headed people, for people that's defiant, for people that will not hear. They are so self-righteous and self-grandizing, they will not hear what Yah says. And that's the way we are. Because anytime Yah says something that cuts me, we will raise up against him in battle. We want to get him. And that's a fact. We don't like it. They express on our faces and all of that because we think we're above Yah. I don't ever want to think like that. I'm not above his words. I'm beneath it. I want it to follow me. Yahshua, let your word follow me. Just follow me. Even if you crush me, I want that to be at my frontal. Same words that he gave to the prophet YisraYah'ale as he prepared him. He prepared him for a prophet unto the house of YisraYah'ale. He prepared Yachanan for the revelation of that which YisraYah'ale did not understand in the fullness of details. You understand, nation?
Hallelujah.
He said, I want you to eat the book. Yochanan says, this thing when I began to eat it, when the Malach opened his hand, and I take it and eat it up, it shall make your belly bitter. It's going to make you have this bitterness, or to understand the bitter of Yah to a nation of people that's so stubborn, so defiant, so hard-headed, so self-righteous, that deals with nothing but injustice and every kind of wicked way. That's how we deal. We don't walk just with each other. We don't consider the poor and the lame. We only consider me. We don't consider no one. We consider no one's emotions but mine. It's evil, nation. It's not right. He said it was bitter. It caused an anger to rise up. It was bitter, but it shall be in your mouth as the sweet honey. Oh, taste and see how sweet and how beautiful yours. You got to taste it. You got to eat this kind of manna. You can't eat the manna of your forefathers that created lies and every kind of corruption. You got to eat this manna and see how sweet he truly is. You can't eat the bread of your own lust and your own wickedness. You must eat this, that you understand the bitterness of Yah and what has caused him to be bitter. And through all of his correction, we have not changed. You think he's taken this mess into the kingdom? You think he's going to, after 400 years, you lying devil hypocrites, that's what I call all of you twisted liars, and you that have been succumbed to them lies. You are born into their damnable lies, and you hold fast to their lies. You don't even know. They don't deal with your sins. Only thing they deal with is your Hebrew Israelite. Brother, sister, everybody is not my brother.
Hallelujah.
I don't care if his skin looks like mine. That doesn't mean he's my brother. The African skin looks like yours, but he's not your brother in your feces of doctrine. He's scattered his people everywhere, people. Don't let them trick you. They went everywhere. And don't tell me when they go, you go to a country. If I went to a country like Sweden or to that kind of region, that even the pigmentation of my skin would change. My children and all. You look at Eskimos, you look at them, they're dark-skinned people. They're very dark-skinned. They're dark-skinned people. But yet they live in a climate that is fierce, cold. And that's just a fact. And this twisted lie that was brought up out of the gutters of hell, the 12 tribes and all of that, it is a flat-out lie. And nobody's going to speak like this in the sense that denounce their lies. I denounce them all. Just like I denounce their lying faggot Jesus. That's what I'm going to call him. He's a faggot. He can't rock like YHWH. Hallelujah. He says we're going to be sweet in your mouth. We got to taste YHWH.
Hallelujah.
We got to see how sweet he truly is, nation. We are people, we don't want to taste that truth because it makes us angry. It's like a bitter pill. When people speak truth, when a simple man like myself speak truth to us and the nation, we get angry. Someone tell you the truth about you, the first resistance is one of anger. That's just a fact. If they tell you a lie that accommodates your emotion, you will like someone like that. But if I tell you you're wrong, the first thing you're going to do, you're going to express some anger. You're going to show how immature you are. Tell me I'm nice and sweet, and you know damn well you're not nice and sweet. Tell me I'm kind, you're not kind. You're a liar. You're a pretender. But you tell me that I'm a dirty man? No. You reprove someone that desires the wisdom of Yahweh. They will love you. They may not understand the reproof at that moment. But as they go by and by, they'll understand. It'll grow on them. And don't tell me we're not that way. We get upset. Someone speaks the truth to us. Someone tells me about me. And that's a fact. You get upset, you get childish, you get juvenile. That's the way we are. That's why he calls us children. Because we're nothing but little children. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like that. Correct me. Correct me. Correct me. Not in my anger, but correct me in your truth. I want to be corrected. And there's not one of you in here or you that will hear this or listen in some span of time is above correction. None of you. And you're not the kindest person. You're not the sweetest person. You are flat out lying. All of you. You don't treat everybody kind. It's a lie. Hallelujah. Let's go back to Ezekiel. Hallelujah. Ezekiel. Ezekiel chapter 3. Back there in verse 3, I want to drop down. Verse 3 and verse 4. And he said to me, Ben-Aton, listen to what he says to Ezekiel for the appointed time. No different than what Yochanan said, what we just read in Revelation. He says to me, Ben-Adam, your belly, he said, cause your belly your bedtime, the fullness of you to be filled, your bowels with the roll, the Megillah, the scroll, this book that I give you. Same procedure, the Melach of Yah, no different with Yochanan than Ezekiel. No different, same thing. Then I did eat, and it was in my mouth as honey for sweet. The Yah has a sweet. You must understand that Yah was showing a nation his sweetness and his kindness. But this evil generation, he's going to bring down his wrath. Because he knows that man is not going to change. That's why Yochanan said it was bitter. I could sense the anger and hostility and the anger of Yah. But he told this morning, when he ate, he said it was so sweet. Yah, even in all of his sweetness, he shows you. It doesn't change. It's almost like a man having a very sweet and pleasant wife. He treated her like a dog. It doesn't change him. She thinks she's going to change him. There are men that have been with women that they've been sweet and kind to her. It doesn't change that. There are women that thought, I can change him. You're not going to change him. There are men that say, if I just love her, it'll change. You never heard that? I've been running old school. It doesn't change them. But then you get them marching up on a 10,000-foot mountain. With an elevator up there, get that 2 seconds. That's not going to change no one. With all this love that he shows us, it doesn't change us. With all his kindness, his rachan, that he shows us tenderly and show us how we messed up, that doesn't make us love him. We will still lie and cheat and do same dirty things that we do. That's a fact. He's not showing this wicked generation no sign. When he comes, he's going to bless this dirty whore with his wife. With his woman, right? She's been an unfaithful slut, laid with everything, just like a Aholah and a Aholabah. YisraYah'ale and Yehuda, they both were whores. Laid everywhere, on every green tree, look for every god, every dog. Let's get real. The book says that. And that's the way we perform. He said it was sweet. And he says to me in verse 4, Ben-Adam, go, listen to what he says. Yochanan, that in Revelation 10, it was that for the house of YisraYah'ale or for the Gentile nation. One nation. He said, I want you, Ben-Adam, go get you to pay at YisraYah'ale. Go among my people. Go to the house of YisraYah'ale and speak my words to them. I want you to speak my words to them. Speak my words. I don't want you to speak your opinion. Yah wants us to utter with loudness a voice. He wants us to speak his word to his nation. He doesn't want you to speak your opinion or how you feel. He wants his word to be spoken.
Hallelujah.
And that's what I'm going to speak. I don't care whether you stand with me or love me or hate me. It makes me no difference at all. We will stand with dogs that hate Yah. We will embrace and love them. It's amazing, son. Yet we won't stand with YisraYah'ale. It's amazing how many of the young ones, we were down, two of them called me. I'm like, how did you get mine? One played silly. This evangelist Moultries, so how did you get my number? But I knew it wasn't. Then I rebuked him, when you are a silly little boy. One writes me down on the beach, I want my sister and I, the way you even talk to the one that you call your cousin, you're not coming here. Can we come just to walk around and say, you're sick in your head? Why do they call me? How could you just please help me just a little bit? What we did the other day, what Coach did, it's not because I don't give a damn about the little slut in the sense, but I love the father.
Hallelujah.
I love the daddy. He loved me. He's kind to me.
Hallelujah.
Did I rebuke him? Well, I rebuked him as hard as a man can be rebuked. Went all up in his gut. Yes, I did. I told him, I don't know who you think you is, brother. You're not dealing with those cats. I'm not talking about that incident. I had to rebuke him many times. But he turned out all right.
Hallelujah.
But they're not coming here to play games. I don't care who it is. They're not coming here. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't talk about that. Yeah, I talk about it and let us know and let you know. You understand? You know why? Because they knew that this was honesty here. And the man dealt with them honesty. I was explaining to one, I said, your daddy brought this to John. I said, your daddy brought this on a week. I said, tell me now, where could he live off that little bit of money? Tell me. That's all he gave us here. Your sister could eat that much in 2 days. With that lefty, with that little Joe like a husband, that woman didn't chew food. I feel because I would look at her. She put that in her mouth. Get out of here. Wow, that's crazy. I try to get in minimum 25, 30, 40 Jews before I swallow something. I've seen that woman just put it in her mouth and go, anybody like your son? That boy will put a hold. I watch people and I say, if I eat a biscuit, it's going to take me minimum 4 or 5 bites, maybe 6 or 7. I've seen him put a biscuit. I would count his chews all the time, watching. 4, 6. I count them. I see he put that biscuit away with 4 chews. I lied. Then another half here thrown out. I can't do that. Now that's just me. I can't do it. That's fact. She ate that much in a week. So there was no, it's just Yah that brought us this far. There wasn't enough money. It wasn't. It was only when I began to reach beyond the boundaries of this that people would hear it. They began to send money. They did. And they sent quite a bit of money. It all was used here. That's where the money's at. That's a fact. I want to finish this in a minute. Or finish as far as I'm going to go today. He told him to eat this stone. And he said to me in verse 4 again, Ezekiel 3:4. And he said to me, Ben Adam, I want you to go you among the house of YisraYah'ale and speak my word to them. For you are not sent to a people of strange language and a tongue that cannot be understood, but I've sent you to the house of YisraYah'ale. I wanted to emphasize that again. He has not sent the messengers out unto strangers, but unto one house that house only people, and you don't know where that house is, and don't tell me you have the spiritual wherewithal to identify them, but by asking where were you born and who is your daddy. There's nobody can show me today. Listen to me. All you fake Hebrews. And the region that Avram was in, they were all called Hebrews. You understand? His father was a Hebrew, but he was wicked. Was he not? Yes. His father was a Hebrew, but he was wicked. He was very wicked. So you're not going to tell me that you're going to identify who is of the house by telling me where they were born. Because you can't go back and tell me where your mother's mother is buried. You can't do that. There are very few even in here. I know where my mother is buried, and I know where her mother is buried. But I don't even know nothing about my grandmother's mother. And I don't know anything about my great-grandmother and her mother. I know nothing about them. I do know where my grandmother's buried because that's where they were buried. Hopewell Baptist Church in South. I know where that's at. And that's where my mother's buried. That's where my older brother's buried. And that's where my brother that was next to me died, older. That's where he's buried. But my mother's mother, I know, but her mother, I don't know where she's buried. I don't even know where my mother's daddy is buried. I don't even know who he is. I don't know, though. I don't know. You of that age, I don't know where he's buried. And her daddy's daddy, I guarantee you, she probably didn't know who he was. And her daddy's daddy, I know she didn't know. That's a fact. That's a fact. You go back to your father and his father, I know him. You may know of the grandfather's father. Don't even know him. But that father, the grandfather's father's father's father, you don't know him. You can't even go back what we call 5 generations and tell me. And that's a fact. You know what they look like? There are really no pictures and nothing to show you that unless you're an older one like these in here, like us. I don't even have that. And that's just a fact. How are you going to tell me? What if that one that produced the same color man, me, he came from Africa. He was a Hamite, purely from Ethiopia. And you ask me who is my dad, I tell you my dad, I bet, man, my daddy, R.J. Nichols, man. I know who he is. Born in America, you're Hebrew. But his daddy was a Hamite, and his daddy was a Hamite. So I'm a Hebrew. So out of him came a Hamite. And we go back to the origin of thing, the Nicholas, the Greek hierarchy of wealth, that when they sell the ship, the Nicholas, and his last name was Nicholas, to refine it into the British name, put our babies like flies. These are stupid men. They're crazy. I want to finish this quickly. Hallelujah. Let's go back to YisraYah'ale 3:17 quickly. YisraYah'ale 3:17. I can close it from here. Look what it says here. Yah says to this man, he says, Ben Adon, I have made you a shafar. He said, I have made you a watchman. And the word Safa is not a melach, but it identifies with all the personality and all the access of a melach. It means one that spies and one that watches and one that looks and says, I saw what he was doing. One that sees, that's what a Safa is. He said, I made you a Safa. I made you a watchman. I made you to observe them and to keep out on them. Hallelujah. YisraYah'ale. I made you a watchman to them. Therefore, hear the words of my mouth. And look what he says. He says, I want you to give them zachar. I want you to give them warning. Is that what he says?
Yes.
That's what he says in Years of Captivity. And give them warn. I want you to give them admonition. I want you to warn them. I want you to instruct them. I want you to rebuke them. That's what Zahar is. I want you to counsel them, to give them warning, that you may enlighten them, and by that enlightenment they may see the light that resonates from you by the power and the sharpness of the word of God. That's what he made him, to bid YisraYah'ale. He says, I want you to give them warning from who? Not you. He said, I want you to give them warning from me. When Yah warns us, it's not some emotional torrent that one goes through. He made him a watchman. Well, she's out of line. He's a crazy man. She's nutty. And you ponder that and you watch. What's wrong with her today? You see in one's action. It's one thing about people, us, we have a consistency, a pattern. And when the pattern is broke, you can tell a whole lot. Hold on, why you say that morning to me this morning? What's wrong with you? Why do you think something is wrong? Oh, no. Okay. Something is wrong. What's the problem? Ain't nothing wrong with me. You see? You say tough morning every morning. That's why I listen when you're, see you, baby. How you doing, baby? Break it some other way. I will. I don't care how she feels. Let it be where she doesn't hear you coming in. I will. Shalom, be safe. Agmakos, I see you. Shalom, shalom, my love. You better keep it that way. Because I don't miss nothing when I'm here. And it better be real too. Raise hell with him when he get in the house? No. You see, when people break patterns, you know. So I'm an observer of pattern of people. Facial expression, I watch things like that. I know, okay. Got you on that one, didn't I? There's no one I talk to as much as with you like anyone. I talk to him differently. I talk to him harsher. I do. To break him, for sure to break him, but to build him. I said to him this morning, I said, I got to, I don't have to work until I'm 70, maybe 75. Get everything squared away and I can sit down and start doing something different, all right? That's what I said. So we got time to go to get this place right. I want to finish up. He says this, now listen to what Yah says in verse 18. But I say to the Rasha, the wicked, the Rasha's son, is one that is guilty. When one is guilty, they're going to always defend their ways. They're going to always cast aspersion on others because they can't see their ways. He said, when you say to the wicked, those are the guilty of crime. Those are the guilty of crime. And that's a fact. Yes. He said, you shall surely die. This is what Yah said. Tell that wicked man, that wicked woman, you're going to surely die. He said, but if you don't give him warning, if you don't let that wicked man know, if you don't let him zachad, you don't give him warning, nor speak to warn the wicked in his wicked ways, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his ovon. He shall die in his perverse depravity. He said he's going to die. Yah says you warn. I don't care who it is. I will warn us all today. You that are listening, you that will listen to this. We must turn from our wicked ways. And anything that you constitute to be right is wicked. Anything that you deem as right is wicked. The only thing that is right is what Yah says. Unless it's based upon that, it is a devilish, damnable lie of deviation. You deceive yourself. There's only one way that is Yosha, that's the way of Yah. And in that, it defines every way you try to go. Because his way will define the right way. So anytime you go outside of that, you're wrong. That's wicked. That's wickedness. Anytime you define his standard, you are wicked. And all us that are wicked, you're going to die. Unless I warn us, then your iniquity will be upon me. That's why I don't placate people. You know that someone is calling on a lie. And because you got more respect for that devil than you do y'all, something is wrong. They gonna die that way. You can say what you want to. Oh, she's sweet. No, she's an old devil. He's an old devil. Some old men die as wicked as they were when they were 20. And they die like fools. You don't seek to warn someone, tell them that's wrong. That's not right. Sit down and study this book. His name can't be Jesus. How do you get that? All we know about this Jesus thing is this old dirty faggot boy that was in our homes, uninvited. We didn't invite him in. Let's get real, nation. He said, I want you to warn them, to warn the man that sins. I want all of us beginning here. Don't sin with the willingness. Don't do your brother, sister wrong. Don't do things that are evil. You hold their hand and love each other. That's what you do. He said the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood. Well, I request you. I will require your hand. I will ask you why you didn't tell him. Were you afraid? You said you loved him, but you didn't tell him he was wicked. You tell me a mother doesn't love her daughter when she tells us, you going the way, you're going to have trouble, baby. You're selling yourself for nothing. Every boy in town knows you. When you get old, it's all going to pay. Your pains in your body. You tell me daddy doesn't, if he loves his son, he's not going to warn him, boy, you know you're going wrong. You're breaking my heart. Sure, he's going to tell him. If he's doing the same thing the dad is doing, they're hanging together, go, hi, what's up, baby? I would never talk to my son like that. Ain't no what's up, baby. That ain't even about to happen. That crowd, we're not going to rock it like that. How you doing, son? I'm doing fine, Dad. Thank you, sir. I will honor him with the highest degree of honor and respect him greatly. But to be his friend, that we're going to shut, buck, and jive, and that ain't about to happen. It's not about to happen. You got friends of your equal. I got friends of mine. I'd rather laugh with my friends. You laugh with yours, all right? And I'll just tell the place of a daddy, you be my precious son, all right? So anytime a daddy will not warn his son, he's a devil. And the reason he will not do it because he's doing things that are much more evil. And a mother see her daughter going the way of hell, she doesn't warn her.
Hallelujah.
My mother would warn me all the time. Although she was doing the same thing. Drinking, and I never was a drinker. I'll just be honest with you. I can't even deal with that now, no wine and nothing like that. I don't like it. I don't like it. But a mother warns her daughters because she loves her. You do that with your son. Whoa! Hallelujah. Yah says this in verse 20. He said again, when a Sadiq man, you think you're so righteous. When a righteous man or when a Sadiq man does turn from his righteousness. And then he began to commit injustice. He began to commit violent deeds of injustice. When you allow your brother or sister, when you fabricate something, you make a false, incriminating opposition of a report on them, you are evil, you are unjust, you are wicked, and you are evil. I don't give a nickers with the rats down who you are. He said he committed injustice. Yah says this, I will lay a mixture, I will lay a stumbling block, I will lay obstacles, I will put something in his life to entice that devil, to show him how wicked, how wrong she is, because you think, man, you're more righteous than someone. Yah says I will lay a stumbling block. I will put an idol, I will put anything before his eyes, before him. He shall die. Because you have not given warning The messenger is to warn us. And you can't hide it, and your smiles and your looks don't get by. Yeah. Your innocence and all of that, you're not innocent. I can come in. It's amazing. No, it's not amazing. But the little young UPS driver came yesterday. He's new. And I went out there in the rain to talk to him. And I looked in his eyes. I said, I read the article years ago about this black UPS driver, black man. And with the 30 years, he had 5 million miles without a single accident. So he looks at me. He said, I know you tell me the truth because I know about it. See, that establishes truth. I say, the way you drive, you're not going to get a 500,000 miles. I see you. And don't come in here. I say, there's not one driver, UPS, any of them, that I don't deal with. And they know how to come in here. And I had dialogue with the young fellow, and after a while, he really understood that. He did. How did I know that? Because I could see, because you could see the staunchness of his countenance. Buddy, you don't know, because when I look at you, you don't know who you're dealing with, young man. And I'm not afraid to tell you what I need to tell you here on our ground. You're not going to define that, as I did with every driver. Every last one of you. And I've set all of you straight. I will set you straight too. You're not going to come in any other way. And that revolutionized that young. Why? You all saw, what's the FedEx? You all saw him coming, right? Was he crawling? He doesn't even do 5 miles an hour. He comes. Because he knows this monster here. And now I can give me, boom! He wants to talk now. That's one thing about honesty. You can't destroy that. Smiling and talking. In the early days, he would not even talk to me. He would not even say, how you doing, sir? You see, that's what realness will do. I'm not fake. They go anywhere when they hit up in here, whoa! And the amazing thing is that all those drivers are warned before they come. Hold on with you. I'm going to tell you something. You go down there with a preacher down there, folks down there, just be careful. Just like the big boy said, you see, he called me Dawid. He said, all right, can I ask you a question? I know you all keep the Shabbat Friday and Saturday. Can I deliver on Saturday if I got stuff for you? I said, why, sure. I can't tell the mailman not to put the mail in the box on Saturday. That's silly. I said, someone won't meet you. But that's how, and I've driven his hips in the ground too. That's not one of them. That's nothing like honesty. Nothing. There's nothing like honest. Mothers were honest with their children in my days. You are a little heifer, you're gonna come and you're gonna run up on a baby. And sure enough, she ran up on a baby, and that's a fact. Look at this right here. In verse 20 down to the end. He said, he shall surely die in his sin, and his righteousness which he has done shall not be remembered, but his blood will I require at your hand. He said, you're going to have to pay. Now this is his house. This is what God speaks in verse 21. Nevertheless, if you warn the righteous man, you're the righteous, so I'm here to warn you. Stop your wicked ways. Stop your pretense. Stop being false. Get real. Stop your lying, wicked ways. He said, you warn the righteous man, that the righteous man sin not and does not sin. He shall surely live, because he is warned. Also you have delivered your own living. I'm not dying for no one and going to hell because I told you a lie. I will tell you the truth whether you turn away from your lie. I will tell you the truth of your evil ways, your sick ways. You will know a person by the pattern, how they do things. If someone is up to date, down to my, you know that's a sick puppy. That's a sick puppy. If someone is nice and kind this hour, the next hour, they don't even want to talk about it, you know that's a sick puppy. I'm not sick. Because I'm not, when Evangelist Hartsfield pointed that out to me, your little old boy, he thought I was a little boy. In front of my wife, you look at this little silly boy. He blessed me greater than anything. And my resolve was to resist. But I wept and cried, and Yah delivered me from that strange thing. I'm glad He did. Could you imagine that? Living here, and you come to the house, and I don't feel like talking. I'll see y'all later on. No, you may not see me in the morning because I'm taking care of things. You all don't know what I'm doing in there. And you couldn't do the things I do. How? Because I've had a span of time to practice and do all the things I do. I do a lot of things. I know this morning what I was doing this morning. I wasn't doing no physical work, but my mind was working. I do a lot of things for what? This place. And it's not on my strength, it's on the faithfulness of you and your love. That's what motivates me. I said to my aim, I said, I don't feel right about the ribs I did. And so I'm going out next week. Get nothing but a box of ribs. I'm going to get just 2 boxes. Who knows? I said, going to be right this time. I was in a rush that day. I said, we're doing right. Next Sunday, we're going to have a rib out. And we're not going to work next Sunday. We're going to work this Sunday. We have a rib out showing up. I put all my spicy ones here. Get all my sweet ones here. We're going to do some ribs. How about that? Yeah. What about that? I like that. So do you right? Some real ribs. They go right this time. Angus, yeah, we eat Angus beef ribs. Don't come here if you don't eat ribs. You're in the wrong place. Yes, sir. You coming to eat just breadcrumbs, just bring your meal, all right? He said, you shall surely die. He said, nevertheless, if you warn the righteous man, and he sin not, and he does not sin, he shall surely live. Because you warn him, you're delivered his nephew. The only way you're going to be delivered, someone has to warn you, and tell you about your corrupt ways. Yeah. They have to tell you, nation, yeah. You're not Spartan, you're not sweet. Come on, let's get real. Yeah. That's not one of us in here cannot be disingenuous, but it should not be a pattern of life. Yes. Yeah. It's all right for me to be nutty this hour, but that should be nutty the next hour, the next day, or the next 3 days. No! I'm not going to operate like that. Yeah. What's it been to me, whomever, you got it right. And look at that up there with the Akeem did. I said, boy, I almost want to dance in the rain. It's so pretty up there. It's so nice. I said, I like that. Ouch, 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 ouch. I said, I like that. It looks so nice. I like that. I'll put the fence up for you. Believe me. I'll do it right there. Make the gates do. I like that. I don't have to go to that inspector. I can look from here, but that's the real. Don't, okay, all right. I want to close here quickly. Yah says that if you tell the righteous man in that latter part here, as YisraYah'ale 3:21, shall surely live. I want to give us something that is profoundly related to that. It's in SHABBAT. How we can surely live. We must understand the pattern of what produced sure life, all right? It's in SHABBAT 48:9. This is about Elijah. Here's the pattern. It says in SHABBAT 48:9. You were taken up by the whirlwind of fire in a chariot of horses of fire. Why? Because you were ordained at the appointed time. It was ordained for this appointment by Yah, just like YisraYah'ale. He was ordained, he was born at that time, appointed by Yah, that he will raise up a noble prophet among the nation. He did not serve in the office of a Kohan. He was a noble. His father was a Kohan, Buza, but he served in the office of a Shulisha, as a messenger of Yah, as a prophet, as a noble. Verse 48 of chapter 48, verse 10 of SHABBAT 48. He said, who was ordained at the appointed, the fixed time. It is written for what? To come. See, he sent YisraYah'ale for one reason, to come. To come what? The wrath of Yah, before he breaks out in fury. Now, in this day, his wrath is not going to be calm. He sent those messengers, as I began this teaching, how he would pour out his wrath upon the Hittites and the Amorites, and yet he calls us as a nation to be taken into captivity, to whip our backsides, so we will trust him and say, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. Hallelujah. Almost parents saying, no, You're on the curfew. You're not going out or nothing. That's what God did to us. And he says, because of you, that you the prophet, he says, he appointed you for the time. It is written to calm his wrath, to calm the wrath of Yah before it breaks out in his hostility of anger and fury. To turn the hearts of the fathers back to the son. That's what the prophet is for. Always to turn the heart of the fathers back to the son. And to restore, even in the Brit Hadasah, it reminds us of this. And to restore the tribes of Yaakov. To bring YisraYah'ale, not Yehuda and YisraYah'ale, but one house, one day, YisraYah'ale, those that prevailed. Then he says, blessed are they who saw you, and those who have been adorned in that great Ahava the love. This is what he says after the semicolon. For we also shall surely live. That's what this is for, nation. We also shall surely live. We're going to surely live just like he said to that house under the mouth of Yeskel. It's a great blessing we have seen what is taking place. We were there, but we've seen to the corners of Torah. And we've seen this. And we love what God does. We can calm his wrath on us. Why? Because we're going to surely live. We're going to surely live. That you will surely live. It was Eliah who was covered by the whirlwind. And Elisha was filled with his spirit. He received. That's why every brother should want the spirit of the excellent brother. And be like him. What's wrong with that? He was filled with the same spirit, with the same identity, his same thing, with his spirit. And all the days he did not tremble before any ruler. He did not bow down to the devil. I bow down to no devil. I bow down to no one. I bow down to him. You're wrong, you're wrong. Even your friendship will not make me bow down. He says, who was filled with the Spirit, he did not bow down before rulers, and no one brought him into subjection. You're not going to bring me into that. And I'm no prophet. I'm no Shalisha. I'm no great messenger. But you're not going to bring him into subjection to your ways and your ills and your wickedness. No king could bring him into that kind of subjugation, that he was subject, the house of YisraYah'ale, that you bring sin upon them or reproach. He says no word could overcome him. And no word, no one can say that will overcome me. Yeah. Nothing was too hard for him. As we would say, there's nothing too hard for you. There's nothing too hard for us to do. Nothing was too hard for him. And then this is profound. And when he was dead, his body, not his body prophesied. As in his life, he did wonders, so in his death, his deeds were marvelous. I want that to speak for me. I want the deeds of my death to be marvelous. I'm going to refine this a little more, refine it next week, all right? We're going to take this down. We're in the 16, 19, 2019. I'll refine it, all right? May the blessings of Yahweh upon you, nation. Be strong. Hallelujah. Love him above all, love him. That when you love him above all, love your brothers and sisters above all. Love them above you. Love them above you. Hallelujah. You love someone, you love them above you. You understand? And it begins in the home. Your husbands, your wives. You know, Ima Raphael, I said before. She told me, I got you covered at the beach. I said, all right. She said, everything is on me. I'm fine. That's even better. I spend no money on the gas and buy my food for me. She said, I got you covered. So I said to her, she had this little envelope she had, what she gives to Yah, what she had put back, saved. She gives. Believe me. You get nothing free here. If I'm not mistaken, she had $452 in that range. I like the part that she counted the dollars. I said, it's on you, huh? That's right. I have always, during the years, YisraYah'ale, I may put like 20, 40, 50. I just put that aside. So I've always, twice a year, or at least twice a year, I've always bought her. I would buy, most of the times I would never tell her, I didn't take her with me. I would go somewhere like Bell, not somewhere, I would go to Bell. I would buy. She doesn't bother me when I pick her cologne or nothing. She likes it. And I always buy her a couple pocketbooks. Well, best price you gonna buy a nice handbag. All her handbags I bought. And so she said, no, I don't want to pick it. I want you because you're the woman. And so I've always done that. Just save a little money, put it back, so I get some nice cologne. Nice perfume. How much you got? In pocketbook. The first year we went to, what was that place? TJ Maxx. I don't go to TJ Maxx. I can't wear nothing in that. I don't go there. I did find a jacket at $29. Nice coat. Nice. And so she said, I got $4.50 something. It was some pennies or whatever. I said, all right now. You know you're going to spend big on me because I said, I tell you what. Just hold on to that. Just hold on to it. Don't spare it. If I need it, I know where to come. But I've done that. If you've been married off always. At least twice a year. And then when she come, this was the first in a while that she was with me. Because I usually just, when it's time for bed that night, she may be showering and somebody go in there, go out to the sukkah, get it out, put it in the bed and cover it back up. I go sit down. I always do it like that. Great rewards when you do it like that. And she would come in and pull the cover back and she just, wow. I like that. I don't mind her doing that. But I've always done that. So I've always, no, come on, YisraYah'ale. I haven't put back no more money in you for me. That's a fact. Because I wonder if you can't do that. And so I would go to Belk. Where are you going? I'll be back. And I would buy some nice cologne, perfume, nice stuff that I like to smell, sweet. You're between perfume and fragrance, all right? That stuff you get in Ross, that ain't the real stuff, all right? I wear the same thing. I'm old school. I don't need nothing. Yeah, I'm going to frost myself up a little bit for her. That's why I don't hug no women, nobody. But that's how I do it. And I've always done it. So every brother can put back in. Here's what you're going to put back $20 a week. $20 a week, that would give you $1,000. Get out of your mind. Just don't buy the hamburger tonight. Put it back. That's right. Yes. We have a ball. How about that? Now, I've been doing that when I didn't have no money. And that's how I've always done it. You put back $10 a week. See how much money you got saved? How much in your bank? Yes, ma'am, you. 400. Whoa. You buy a lot for your daddy and your mama and your dad. Don't buy them nothing. Well, the only thing I do put back $10 a week. Get out of here. So right now, $10 a week, be 10 cents. Okay, mom. Come on. It just smell nice. Don't tell me you can't do that. Get out of here. Don't be silly. Your wives can do the same thing. You don't have money. You put back $5. Your husband gives you money. And I know what they have. So don't tell me they don't have pennies, all right? I know what they have. Don't give me that bull, okay? Don't give me that, all right? You know, that's bull. You don't have to buy no food here. There's plenty of wonderful food here. Yes, ma'am. Get those nice almonds that are just enough for a meal. That's not cheap. So don't tell me you can't put back $10. That's bogus bull. Don't tell me that. Now I didn't have money, I've always done this.
Hallelujah.
Always. I went out every time. I went. Every single time I went out. In fact, I don't play no losers game, but I went out. Every time I went. I don't lose it all. That's it. We don't have much money, none of us. We don't have the same thing, nothing. You still can do that. Put like $10 a week. I saw you put every brother save $10 a week for the next year. Mama, whatever you get, you save half of that. You don't spend it all. I'm very frugal. I'm very frugal with money. There are people that will run this little committed here with a little money. We don't always have money. We get. They could not set aside what Yah has granted us, so that if there's an emergency, we'll be all right. We can make it through. You understand? You put back $10 a week. That's a lot of money at the end of the day. How much your mother lets you spend every time you get a job offering? You get 20, how much you spend? Yes, ma'am. That's right. So that's how you do it. When we got married, I was making $2.65 an hour. I had money saved from that. My rent was $125. My electric about $25. I didn't have to do $25 a month and all that, but I saved money. Because I was going to college. I was going to college. I knew it. Even at that time, I was going to have to go to college or something, get far advanced, so you would create the kind of environment that I was going to college. And I'm glad I did. Instead of buying the potato chip, don't buy them. Bag of chips cost you $3. It did better too, at least $2, depending on what kind you buy. Hallelujah. Well, you eat lost of mine. You all don't know me. Really, you don't even know. The way I eat, nobody here eats like I eat. Nobody. That's a fact. Go to the beach while I can eat? No, that's the time I don't eat. I say this and I close. I bought one pack of that little vegan, no soy, nothing, that chicken. I ate on that for 2 days. Some asparagus, brown rice, boiled eggs. That's it. Salad. That's it. Eat the same thing every day. I'm full. Some of those Atkins, I'll just leave it at that. The Atkins. That's it. I eat the same thing every day. Every single day. It doesn't bother me to eat the same thing every day. It doesn't. You sometimes have this obsession with food. I know I'm a big fat boy, but I've never had that kind of need for food. I want to live. I want to be healthy. I want to live with you. You understand? Yes. I've never had that. My bigness is just genetic. My daddy was a big man. From the man I met, I know he's my daddy. Nobody's going to tell me he was my daddy. He couldn't tell me that. Great, he couldn't tell me that. I look too much like him. He's a big old boy, wasn't he? He's a big one. They say he's a big one. He was a big one too, boy. Big man. I liked him. Isn't that amazing? At 53 years old, you meet your father for the first time. In all your life, you spent less than 4 hours with him, 5 hours. That's sad, isn't it? You daddies love your sons, you correct them. You love your daughters, but you correct them. You love your sons and you love your daughters. You love your daughters and let them see the exemplary pattern of a man that loves a wife, that they'll want to get married one day. Yeah. You can't be nutty men, and I know how stupid we can be. You can't be stupid, you can't be nutty. So they can see the strength and the beauty of a man. Wife, you will be the supplier of that strength. I've got something for you, wives, all right? And they will know. It makes no difference who the children are. They will love you. And they will care for you. That's right, hallelujah. The men that I've raised, that's why I said I respect any man that raised children, child, those that he did not birth. That's a man to me. Hallelujah. It takes a real man to do that. A boy can't do that. Boy can't do that, I'm telling you. It takes a woman to, their step children that their mothers, their stepmother, they love them more, they rather be around them than their mothers. That's a fact. Because of the interaction, what they do and how they treat. Now that's a fact. I don't care what you say. I know what I'm saying. And so that mother showed the daughter the beauty of a mother's strength, not someone that is beat down and has no purpose, no beauty. That's not what a wife is. But her beauty exemplifies his strength and his personality. And they see the interaction and all of that. I don't believe that no husband and wife, or no wife you talk to the husband anywhere around children or in any position. I don't buy no message. You're not going to do me like that. Just leave it alone. That's right. Just leave it alone. We'll deal with that. But you're not going to talk. No. You're not going to just talk anyway. No, because I'm not going to do that with you. You're not going to do me like that. That ain't about to happen. Period. We're not going to have any babies, but we got babies, all right? There's nothing like that for children to see the strength of a man and the beauty of a mother. Daughters to see that. There's nothing like that. There are young men that, because of the home environment, they've been inspired by others that they see. Young daughters, the same thing. It's sad. It's sad. The young ones must have someone they can talk to. They must have that motherly tenderness and that motherly kindness they can go talk and tell them. That's why children, that's why children do things and they react a certain way because they have no one to talk to. I remember when all these little guys when Ima Raphael would bring them all over here. Even that lady one they called me when I was at the beach the other day. Those children opened up the Ima Raphael so they would tell her things. That's why them dogs, they said, when they were here, even on the letter they wrote me, say, Ima Raphael, say sister. They will call her sister, but they won't call me real daddy. I don't give a nickel what dogs me. She was kind to us. She was always. And there were adults didn't think she that would because of their stupidity. How she would bring them here, and the mammies got upset. They got mad because how she was interacting with them and teaching them things. That's a stupid mammy. And I saw how they were trying to crush her heart. I said, nothing other than that. Nothing. Look at the little dogs now. Look at them. And that's a fact. Jealousy. Instead of coming, I want to help. No, I don't need you to help. Let me run this right here. They come here, they will sing, they will do things. There's nothing, mothers, listen, there's nothing like taking that beautiful place in a child's life. That's right. Hallelujah. I want to do that with all my babies, and we spoil them all. Spoil every last one. Need the riches of Yahweh. Do send a gift to help us here in Yahshua's name. Let's stand to our feet. Come on. I am hungry. Hallelujah. In all things we barak arabah for your excellence, for the truth of Yahshua. Bless your nation, your people. Give us strength and keep us in the arms of your great love. Heal us all, for we need it in Yahshua's name. And take us this day, as the old ones would say, in the safety of your arm. Bless the nation scattered abroad in Yahshua's name. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
Yahweh has brought me out of a horrible pit.
Out of a miry clay.
He has set my feet upon a rock.
And established my path.
He has put a new delight